Welcome to the official Munzee podcast.
I'm Rob, also known as Coach V, your host and the president of Munzee.
And I'm Craig, also known as Michell. I'm an avid Munzee player and here to explore this game further.
Each week we'll delve into Munzee's mysteries, divulge some secrets, and inform players from around the world just what is coming your way.
So sit back, relax, as today's episode, we're talking about road tripping, we're talking about sand, like going to the beach in this sort of weather. Rob, the other day, I was actually at the beach here in Jersey and there was snow on the sand, but we're not talking about snow on the sand. We're talking a lot of different things today. Rob, how have you been, buddy?
Oh, man, I have been good. I've been good. Thanks for asking. I've been doing a little playing in the sand myself, looking for some of those new sand dollars.
Yes. How many have you got so far?
Ooh, 20, I think. Something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm on 27, mate. I'm not humble brag. Yeah. 27,
Hey.
because they're on different ones, like, the beach POIs, and we'll go through this as well in today's episode. But yeah, I noticed that I do like the theme in which they come about. So that's really cool. Cool. What else has been happening, mate? What else has been happening for you?
Well, picked up the hydration hat badge last weekend from all the flat rob scatters, which, I had to get that one. We talked about that's just hydration's important,
It's true. And you are the flat Rob. So like with an L, you've got an L on yours.
Yeah, that's right. If I don't go get my own badges, then, something's wrong there.
Exactly right, mate. Exactly. Yeah. I think I got my hydration badge as well. I think I got mine late on Sunday afternoon. So yeah. I skinned in, I scraped in by the skin of my teeth, which is really cool.
Just got it.
Yep.
That's good. So about you, I saw that you were promoted on the Munzee socials this week from all of your Munzee tutorial videos on YouTube.
Yes, the beginners pretty much only. But hey, at the end of the day, Rob, we can always use, getting back to the beginning, getting back to basics sometimes, and just going, you know what? Oh, I forgot about that, or I forgot about that. That series, Rob, I did a lot of research to get that series going through. And here's a tip for you. Here's one for you that no one really knows about. That entire series, Rob, was filmed in one day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's why you see I'm wearing the same clothes with the same hat, the same location.
Continuity.
Yes,
right? I believe that's the word for it.
It's true.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. And, on the Munzee side, we're excited about it. It gives us somewhere to point new players in order to, give them some of the basics. So that's good. And thank you.
Thank you, mate. Let's be honest as well, because this is a very deep game to play. It's not when you just start, you think, oh yeah, I can just go around and cap a few QR codes and that's it. Oh no, I'm still learning, Rob. I'm 18 months of hard play now. I'm going to call myself a hard player. 18 months hard player. I'm still learning stuff. I mean, I learned some stuff from you and Josh just the weekend in Florida as well.
Yep.
So
it's very easy to forget some of the things that are in the middle, and then reminders and just learning tricks that people have known for years. So that's good.
Exactly.
So how else have you been? Everything going all right?
Mate, yeah, everything's really good. I'm actually on a bit of a road trip at the moment too, in my car heading south. Warmer weather, mate. Warmer weather.
Oh.
And what I've noticed is I've got a bunch of generic. I'm going to say geriatric then, but no, generic stickers.
Yeah.
Not me just yet. Generic stickers. And I've been like trying to replace ones that have been painted over, they've been scratched off, they've been, and I'll be honest with you, I'm currently now in Delaware. And it's unloved here, Rob. Today, as we record this on Wednesday, it's cruisy day and sleepsy day. All the virtuals are not a problem. I don't think virtuals go to sleepsy that often, but the physicals, man, there's so many physicals here that are just unloved, and so you can't cap them all, but you just, if they're in a Dunkin' car park, or whatever, I'll cap it as a buy a coffee,
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes there are just too many to make a big dent. So yeah, it's all about choose a parking lot, go walk through it, or if you're looking for some exercise, drive to a
Yeah.
park, that kind of thing. Yep.
Exactly, and I got the idea too from one of the what do you call it, the people who put in the videos for the Munzee monthly moments. Her name was Purple Cash Eater, and her resolution for January was to actually try and hashtag fix the game board. She calls it. So I think that's
All
a really
right.
cool idea. Yeah, fix the game
Yeah.
board, go out there, and yeah, she's going to try and put out the generics, etc., in place of those that are missing for everyone around her area and her town and her road trips as well, which is pretty cool. So
Very nice.
anyway, we've got a lot to get onto today.
Oh, so much, so much.
Events from the week that was. We only had the one event in Ohio, Rob. That was
Yeah.
it. That was
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Quiet weekend. Yeah.
Very quiet weekend. But in saying that, I would have loved to have been there because it was such a quiet weekend. Like almost every player put at least one card in Ohio for those people to
Nice.
tap because we just do. That's what the
Yeah.
Munzee world's like. So yeah.
That's
Leaderboards,
great.
Rob.
Yeah, on the leaderboards on Friday, we had BFI 1-4, and they were at 235,000 points. Jaroslav Kaz at 182,000, and Aloha Kaz 172,000.
Oh, do you reckon that Jaroslav Kas and Aloha Kas are just distant relatives? One's in Hawaii and one's in Europe.
Yeah, one's in Europe. I'm not sure exactly which country. Yep, they must be so close.
Well done to those three. On Saturday, we had Jack Sparrow at 225k, XP2 at 216,000, and Munz Prof at 216,000 as well, but just under, like I'm talking 200 points difference. Munz Prof missed out on the bridesmaid spot. He likes the bridesmaid spot. He gets third on Saturday instead of second. So there you go.
That's him. Then on Sunday, we had our number one player in the world, Waylon, at 326,000. Aloha Kas, who's our number one deployer in the world, by the way, 215,000. And then here comes Jack Sparrow again at 205,000.
Names we regularly hear, but I'll say this. Whelan for me is now W. Helen. I'm just going to say it. He's W. Helen from now on, and he's going to enjoy that. Not, but anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We heard it at the events. That means we can call him that too.
Exactly right, and he heard it as well. So apparently, the story behind it. Rob, did you hear the story behind it?
No.
So apparently, they have in Minnesota. Obviously, they have so many events up there every single month. So they got a brand new Munzee player came in to their events and was talking to people or whatever as well, and he or she introduced themselves to Whelan and Wellen, and he said, "Hi, I'm Wellen," and she's like, "Look," she said, "Oh, I thought it was W. Helen." In front of everyone. I thought you were a girl. I thought you were W. Helen. It's like, and everyone heard it. So that's it. That makes it. Yeah.
Sticks forever until he uses the button and changes his name. Then
can't change
it
his
sticks.
name. He's number one.
I know. I agree.
Exactly. Current events this week, Rob, coming up this weekend. Only 2 in the US. Again, another quiet weekend I see as well.
Finishing out the month. That's where we're at.
Yeah. But in February, Rob.
Yeah, that's because we've got February event packages. Yeah. So that information was released this week, which was, pretty exciting. And so normally we'd talk about this and what happened this week. However, let's talk about it now.
Yeah, let's talk about it now.
The package is $75. And so the hosts that pay for this, you get the choice of a badge and icon from the options that are shown on the blog. You get an emerald pin for all attendees. It's 50 exclusive February Munzee mixer cards, 5 flat Lou's, 5 flat Robs, because, we want to be at all the events.
Exactly.
And you get the proximity restrictions removed. It's going to take it so that you can deploy those things a bit closer. It's still got the normal 100-foot event pen rules. Yep. And there's also a February Munzee Mixer host badge, which I've seen, and it's actually pretty cool. So, yeah, there's some good stuff in this package. And what I would say everybody needs to do is check the calendar, because there were events on for February already. But with this announcement going out earlier this week, there's new events that are being added around the world.
Yeah.
So far, the biggest one, because I like to look for, which ones are big. So
Yeah,
far,
yeah,
the
yeah.
biggest one is here in the UK, and they've got
Oh,
over 20 showing up. I've seen Herbie is making a pretty big
yes.
push because he got his previous event to 46 and
Mhm.
wants there to be a
Oh,
mega on the
yes.
south coast of England.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah. And then
And
we've got
look,
a few Dutch events and
yeah,
one in Canada that aren't too far behind. They're almost to 20 already as well.
yeah. I did see on the water cooler this week, Rob, as well, someone asked about the mega events. And I sort of tried to push them to say, look, yeah, we spoke about this on the podcast several times, and it is in a blog
Yeah.
anyway. And if people put the blog post on there too. But just to give people an idea, okay, yes, you can attempt to host a mega. You won't know it's a mega until after all the attendees have capped the event on the event day. That's how it works. But if you are pushing for one, reach out. Give me a message, private message me, or Rob even as well, but probably me better because Rob's busier than what I am.
Yeah. You probably respond a lot more than I do.
This is true. This is true. And say, look, hey, Craig, can you please push my event? This is the date and this is the location which it is. I'm trying to make it bigger. I'm trying to make it mega. At the moment, we're at so many numbers and there's so many in our area that can attend. And so we will mention it on this podcast as well. So, yeah, make sure you reach out to me. And a few people have, Rob.
Yeah.
So, because there's some large events coming up after February in California. There's one in March 8th and 9th. So far, with 35 attendees. And it's making good progress towards their goal as well for going mega.
Yeah.
ACT in Australia, Rob, reached out to me. Yes, this
Yeah.
this is a possibility to be the first Munzee mega in the Southern Hemisphere ever.
Yeah.
That's in ACT Australia on March 30th, and that's actually that's coexisting, Rob, because
Yeah.
there's a mega on the same day of geocaching mega. So
They've
it's not
they've got
it's
a
not hard.
Yeah, they've got a really good chance if they
Mm,
can present this game, in a
yeah.
coexist manner to some people who might be like-minded and just need to be a bit open-minded. I would say is what
Yes,
needs to happen,
that's
and
exactly
uh,
right.
and maybe they can get that event nice and big. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And then of course Minneapolis on May 10th and 12th. And Rob, I'll be there for that one. Will you?
Well, did you say will I?
Yeah, will you? You don't know yet. I know I will be.
Man, I don't know. I'm not even sure about California March 8th through 9th yet.
Oh wow, wow! I'm
Yeah,
looking ahead. I'm
I
hoping
know.
to be. I haven't got things sorted yet, but I'm hoping to be California March and 9, and
Yeah,
I'm hoping to be Minneapolis May 10th and 12th. So it's on
I'm
my
right
calendar.
there. I'm in
Yes,
the same boat as you. I'm
yes.
hoping to make both of them. Just waiting for a couple of things to fall in place.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
yeah. So like
Fair
Craig
enough.
said, if you are looking to have a big event, your numbers are growing. We happen to overlook you. Apologies. We do try and scan this, but we'd love to
Mhm.
hear from you so that we can talk about you.
Reach out, mate. Reach out. Like just like that song, as Josh would say, reach out, everybody. Anyway, I'm not even going to sing. For a singer, Rob, I'm a good dancer. But anyway,
Exactly.
developments this week. What's happened this week? We touched on it, Rob, at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, we did.
Sand dollars. We touched on it, but let's talk
Yeah.
about it further. Sand dollars. I think personally, I love this idea. I think it's a great idea. You've got sand dollars for everyone, and then you've got the cake bits as well that we've learned about in the last couple of episodes. The cake pieces for
Yeah.
event attendees. So sand dollars are similar to cakes, but they're different.
Yeah, so the sand dollars are what we like to call a limited time credit. So
Oh,
LTC, for an abbreviation, just because it makes it easier for us to kind of shorten terms. So
hmm,
there is a nice long blog written up about the sand dollar credits.
there is.
You collect them, you go to the redeem store, and then you're able to redeem those for lots of great items. Premium members, imagine this: premium members have options beyond
Yeah.
those who are just our normal players. So I think what might make sense, Craig, is if I just
Hmm.
read these things off of the blog,
Okay.
because that is our job, to read
Yes.
the blog to the players who don't like to
Yeah.
read for themselves.
Yeah,
All right.
Joshua, the GCV. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So if you've been wondering, how can I get these sand dollar credits? Here's how you've got a chance. You have a chance, and it's only a chance with all of
Mhm,
these. It's not a 100% guarantee. So by capturing the sand sculpting specials, which we'll talk about in just a second,
mhm.
you have a chance with greenies, with aquamarines or water mysteries. You've got a chance with event pins, but it does not include the pink event indicator pin. You've got a chance with select January greeting cards, which include the new Wild Weather cards and the Munzee Pack January 2024 card and the Motivational Messages cards. The beach places, which you mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
And then there are also all of the myths have a chance of giving you sand dollar
Oh.
credits, and 2 sand dollar credits are possible with some of the water or ocean themed myths, which include like Poseidon, Hydrus, all of the mermaids. And Craig, there's one more spot that you can get these, and that is through crates. You can earn 3, 4, or 5,
Oh.
depending on which type of crate. Is
Mhm.
it guaranteed? No, it's not. I will tell you that those have to be new crates. So if you're carrying crates from the past,
Oh, they won't be.
before we launched this, there
Yeah.
will not be sand dollar credits because those were already packed. Your crate
That's
was
right.
already packed.
Yeah, makes sense.
You need
Makes
a
sense.
new crate.
That's right.
One more thing about it, though, they're actually the owners of a few different types of Munzies have a chance as a cap
Oh,
on reward.
there
Yeah.
you go.
So for those who don't read, the owners of like Aquamarine or Water Mystery, you've got a
Mhm.
chance of receiving credits from that. And then also the cards, you have a chance of receiving a cap
Oh,
on reward from the
from the
cards. So
cards as well.
get those special cards deployed. That's a suggestion for you.
Well, I love this, Rob, because in my travels in this last week as well, I took a ferry with my car as well, an actual vehicle ferry. It was one of my first times I've done it. Even from Australia as well, we don't really have them, but
Yeah.
across from New Jersey into Delaware, right?
Okay.
Along that strait, there was like I'm talking 7 or 8 virtual submarines,
Oh
which I
yeah.
thought were really cool. Capped
That
a few of
is
those. They're on the list.
entertaining place to put them. Right. Yeah, that's
Exactly,
good.
exactly. But my favorite cap was a floating hotel, Rob, which
Hmm.
I've now got a room in this floating hotel, which is pretty cool.
Well, there you go.
So there you
That's
go.
very entertaining. I mean, you never know what
I
people
know.
are going to do,
I
and
know.
sometimes taking a ferry is the best way to get those
Exactly.
caps. Cool.
Exactly. And I did get some sand dollars as well from the submarine. So anything water related, as you said.
Okay, yeah. So submarine isn't even listed specifically
Oh.
on here, which means,
Oh.
oh my goodness, are you
Did I
kidding
just
me?
I let the cat out of the bag?
There are other types that
Oh, there
might
we
trigger
go.
sand dollar
There we go.
credits. You heard it here first because, yeah, that is a secret, or not a secret, but that is
Anymore.
sort of one of those behind the scene things. We do have
Oh,
some additional pieces that
yeah.
we'll toss them out there. We just wanted to give everybody a good list to start from,
That's fair
and
enough.
then see what kind of chatter we might get on the water cooler.
Exactly. Well, you can hear it now, like, "Meow, meow, meow, meow." I let the cat out of the bag, Rob, like, I can't
Yes, you
believe it.
did. Yes, you
I
did.
was trying to listen in to when you said submarines, I'm thinking, "Did he say it? Did he say it?" And
Nope.
I don't yeah, and I'm thinking, "Oh, maybe I overlooked it." Maybe because sometimes, I'll be honest, Rob, sometimes I do get confused about the names of different Munzee things and
Mhm.
whatever, and I know submarines, they're in evolution, and I know that about it, and you didn't say the word evolution. I'm like, "No, he didn't say that," but he said water I'm thinking he said water-related type products, which obviously a submarine is. So there
Mhm.
you go. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There
you
you
know,
go.
so there's always little tricks, you know this.
I've
You go
I've
in,
done
you
it
check
again.
the redeem store all the time
Yes.
because you never know when I might feel
Mm,
like adding more stuff in, so,
exactly right.
yep,
Oh,
same rules.
quick question
Mhm.
for you regarding the redeems of the, sand dollars.
Yeah,
The actual types of things you can get is gonna change though, isn't it, over time
it
as
is.
well? Like over like a week or 2, what is it, roughly? Or
Yeah.
you're not gonna say, you're just gonna say, "Get in now."
I don't know what we wrote. I know that we've discussed everything. I know that
Yeah, yeah.
the sand dollars themselves can be redeemed up until March 15th. So
Total,
we're
yeah.
talking about, this was basically going to be about an 8-week
Mhm.
campaign.
Yep.
So while this is going on, um, there are there are waves that we're sending in. So
Mhm.
sand dollars, beach,
Yep.
waves, right? So there's waves of
Look at
prizes coming.
you.
I
Of
know that
course
was
there
good,
is.
right? I got to say,
Was that
I came up with that.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, surely that was Dylan. That's not like
Nope. It was being called weak, and then because we changed a few things, it was like, let's
Yeah.
call them waves. Yeah. So
Yes.
anyway, so yeah, the Redeem store will change, and for those who are not familiar with how that happens
Mm.
with these limited time credits, we usually do remove wave one as wave two comes in. So
Yeah.
it will wash itself back out to sea, and it will
Oh,
take
look at
those
that.
prizes with it. Woohoo!
Exactly. So get in while you can, basically. As soon as you get sand dollars, have a look and see what you can, and grab for them because, yeah, don't let them go to waste. Don't
No.
let them wash out with the tide.
The last thing you want to do is be sitting there on March 15th with a lot of sand dollars in your hand and nothing to spend them on.
Exactly right. What are you gonna do with virtual sand dollars? They're
Yep.
not even gonna appear on your, account anymore after the March 15. You're not even
Nope.
gonna see how many you actually missed out on, so, yes,
Nope.
get in fast and get in and get what you can because there is actually a limit as well, I did notice, on a lot of the products, a lot of the items, so there's so many cards you can grab with so many sand dollars and all that sort of thing, and once you've got your limit, then that goes off your screen anyway, I've noticed, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm just
Yep.
going along and grabbing whatever I can every single once a week, maybe twice. It depends
Yeah.
on my dollars. So I go from there.
Spend them if you got them.
And speaking of
So,
sand,
mhm,
let's move on to the sand sculpture specials. Rob, more sand stuff.
man, there is sand everywhere.
Yeah.
Sand in all the right places this
I
time.
was
So that's the good news.
I
You know,
was waiting
you
for
know,
you.
you know how sometimes you're like, how did a sand get in there? This time, this time it's good. So we've got some tools that are out there on the map, and a couple of little sandboxes. There's a turtle sandbox, which is physical, and
Mhm,
there's a crab sandbox, which is virtual. These
mhm.
two are going to be bouncing around the map until Sunday, March 10th.
Yep.
And so watch the map for those. When you cap them, they scatter different types of tools.
Mhm.
And so this is sort of a different approach to some of the bouncers that we've done in the past in the
Yeah.
scatters. So with this one, as you cap more of them, more of the sandboxes, then the tools that it scatters are going to be leveled up. So you're going to go
Oh.
from a shovel to a sand rake and then up to a sand trowel. So in order to
Oh.
build really nice sand sculptures, you have to have
Mhm.
better tools than just a shovel and your
Wow.
fingers. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow,
So,
I like it. A lot of
yeah,
thought gone into this one too. I like it. That's
a
really
lot.
cool.
A
Yeah, yeah.
lot of thought has gone into this one. You are correct. This was a big project that was started back in December, and we wrapped it up once we got into the new year. And we've got some really, really great art for the badges,
Mm,
sand sculptors that Andy put together. So hopefully
nice.
everyone can get out there, cap the sandboxes, and
Mhm.
then all of the tools that get scattered as well.
That's awesome. I will say I've only got one sand sculpture so far. It was a virtual as well, and I did drive out of my way a little bit because I saw it on the map and went, "Oh, I've got to get that one." So yes, we'll see
I
what happens.
actually have one as well.
Mm.
That's it.
Oh,
And as we're
okay.
recording this on Wednesday, I capped it about 3 hours ago.
Oh, there
So
you go. See,
yeah,
see, there you
yep.
go. So if you think you're missing out because you've only got a couple of these sand sculpture specials, don't be discouraged by these sort of things. It happens. It happens to the best of us because there is only a limited amount that was placed out and about for the
Mhm.
time being, and then you're going to increase them slowly over time,
Mm,
or
I think we have 1,500 that
yeah,
bounced. I'm not 100% sure. Things can
okay,
increase, things can
yeah,
decrease as well. The waves
this
may
is
wipe
true.
them out. I don't know.
Exactly, exactly. You never know. So get in while you can. Make sure if you, again, it's our motto, Rob, or my motto. If you see
Mhm.
it, cap it. That's it. If you see it, cap it. That's it.
Absolutely.
Don't hold back. Don't hold back. Unless there are cruisies or sleepsies and you need them for your clan for the next month, and you got you enough for this month, and no one else plays around you. That's a different story.
But if you're road tripping, get everything you can.
Everything you can, everything you can. Mind you, saying that, I do have a friend of mine in my clan as well, and they've set out the fact that they're not going to cap the cruisies or sleepsies in the area until, like, the next month or whatever. What happened? A brand new player started, and
Oh,
all the sleepsies went away. She was like, "Oh
oh.
no, they're all gone."
All those points, because they're like 100 points each,
They're
and
100
so
points
they
each.
left thousands of points on the map. Oh, wow.
Exactly,
How nice of
exactly.
them to share with new players.
Yeah, yeah. She was very
Oh,
good, though. She did reach out to the new player and say, "Look, I'm glad to have a new player in the area. If you need any help, whatever, let me know." So that was
but
really nice as well.
don't ever cap my stuff again, right? At least
But
there
th
was. Oh no, she was
but
just nice.
no, she was just nice because you think about it, Rob, brand new player. I remember back before I was a cruisy specialist, whatever you wanna call it. What do you call yourself when you get that little
Z crew.
a Z crew. Before I was
Mm,
a Z crew member, I remember, just capping everything I can. Not it never came up on my screen.
yeah.
And then I do remember where I was. I was in Australia when I became a Z Crew member, Rob. And I looked, and one day everything come up, all these different colors, and the purple virtuals and the orange. I'm like, what is happening? And
Hmm.
I went nuts. That one day I got like thousands of points because I just went nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got to move on. We're 25 minutes into the episode already, Rob.
Whoa.
And we haven't even got to the question or the tip of the week. Let's get to
So
that, yeah?
close. Yeah.
All right, question of the week. This one comes from George Cashman on the water cooler. And he says, I wasn't playing yet last January, so I was wondering when to expect the resellers to come out with their skinned glass guardians.
Ooh, it's a good
Yeah,
question.
that is a good question.
The experts in the water cooler pretty much answered it for me, and they said, that those usually come out February, March.
Mm,
I think that our first year they actually were beyond that, maybe
mhm,
even June.
yeah.
So I will give the exact answer of between February and June.
That's nice. That rounds it right down to everyone. That's good. I wonder what they're going to be though, because I mean, I think about the hedges last year, Rob, and I really enjoyed how the resellers had the hedge skins of what they were around. So you
Yeah.
had obviously, the Space Coast, you had the manatees in Space Coast, you had the kangaroos down in Australia,
Mhm.
so that was really cool. I can't think of the others, but anyway.
The dragon
Right.
from England, and
England, yes, yes, that's right.
the bear from Munzee
Right.
Madness, because
That's right.
he's 1849. He's a
That's
big
it. There you
bear
go.
guy. California.
Exactly. There you go. California bear. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder what the glass guardian skins are gonna be. I think you've got an
So
idea, Rob.
so do I. So do I.
You say that as you laugh. You didn't even slow down your speech then, Rob. Jeez.
Not even a little bit. That tells you how close we are to launching them. I have no idea what they might look like. Honest.
Anyway, let's move on to the tip of the week. This one's from an anonymous tipper. And they say deploy cards 1 week early at event locations so they can expire within an hour of the event, of the start time of the event. Then watch them expire and deploy again as they expire, as yours expire. We saw this happen live, Rob.
We watched this happen, and I actually was sitting there like, how are people deploying cards right
Yeah,
here on top of us? And I
yeah.
was like, somebody's cheating. And unfortunately, that's where my brain jumps sometimes first.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then we all started talking about it, and it was like, no, cards are expiring while we're sitting there at the event, and new
yeah.
cards were popping up instantly. So
Instantly for it. So yeah. So
very
these
cool.
people are getting like double the amount of caps, and they know that all event attendees are going to be there at that time. I
Mhm.
mean, obviously some people walk out and around and to do the pins and whatever as well, but predominantly you always come back for the cards.
Yeah.
But and it was funny, Rob, sitting there watching Josh. Josh was laying down because he's from Minnesota, so it's getting cold and chilly up there. So here he is in Florida, laying down on this artificial turf near the glass house. It was a really beautiful place, and he's just looking up the sky and he's doing something on his phone. I think he was capping. And I just said to him, I said, "Can you see the cards from up there? Can you, like, because he's just looking up at the sky doing it, like." He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, I'm so relaxed," So yeah, it was good. And he's one that said to me, he goes, "There's more being published like almost every second." I went, "What?" And I had a look, and
Mhm.
yep, sure enough, there's another 4, there's another 5, there's another 3, there's another 2. I'm like, how has this happened? So that's a good tip of the week, Rob.
It is anonymous, I would guess, because the people who already know this probably didn't want that shared,
Yeah, exactly right.
because you've basically just split all of the
Yeah,
event deploys. So
exactly.
be sure that you're doing it pretty close to the start time. I
Mhm.
would recommend not deploying 6 hours after the event because
No,
you're not going to get as
gone.
many caps. Yeah, people
Exactly,
move on.
exactly.
So there
And
you go.
here's I'm gonna expand a little bit on this tip, and that is temporary virtuals. Remember, they're out for a whole month, so you can actually place them more than 1 week ahead of time. Cards are 1 week.
30
Temporary
days.
virtuals are
Yeah,
30 days, so you can
yeah,
place up to 30 days before the event. So I place them 29 days just to be on the safe side, Rob.
yeah.
So yeah, I
Yep.
just put 29 days, and then you get a spot normally too, which is really cool.
Yeah, these
Until
things
everyone
archive.
listening.
Yeah, so they archive like down to the second from when you deployed,
Yes.
just so everyone's
Yeah.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah, down to the second. So right now. So that's how it works.
Yep, that's true.
All right, Rob. So this ends another official Munzee podcast.
Thanks for joining us on this Munzee adventure.
And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting app. And join us next week, of course, for another informative episode.
And remember, Munzee is more than a game. It's a worldwide community of mobile game players.
So keep scanning, keep discovering, and keep this Munzee spirit alive. Rob, 1, 2, 3, Munzee
Munzee
on.
on.